It's time for another SMAB clip. In this video, you will learn how to make sport brands successful and what you have to do to achieve this. Traditional approaches to brand management fall short in today's world of sport. And that is why we are now revealing a secret recipe for successful sport brand management, which we call Integrative Branding. Well, that sounds exciting, doesn't it? Sport brands, such as professional sport clubs, have become an integral part of our everyday life, and they have become increasingly commercialized over the past decade. Furthermore, our society changed dramatically because of digitalization. Digitalization enables sport organizations to market their events, products, and services through more media channels, and they reach more spectators 24/7. Sponsors, fans, spectators, and other actors are better connected, building huge networks. Thus, traditional brand management falls short today, because its basic principle is in line with the logic of sport products, assuming that perceived benefits are embedded in the brand. The world is undergoing rapid change and things just keep on developing, and so does sport management research. And you also take part in these changes. Good sport managers try to make the sport brands more independent of the difficulty of calculating sporting success. The German soccer club FC St. Pauli can be mentioned as an example. Merchandising income does not immediately decrease if the sporting success is not achieved. St. Pauli has succeeded in building the brand through values other than sporting success. But how does that work? In sport, value is never created by the sport organization and its management alone. The benefits associated with sporting activities are always shaped by many actors' interactions, and they are not embedded neither in a sporting event nor in a sport brand. Think, for example, of the stadium atmosphere created together before, during, and after a sporting event, or fan initiatives that are driven by the digital platforms and social media. For modern brand management, a so-called network-oriented perspective is therefore important to be able to better understand how to create and manage sport brands. Networking is the be-all and end-all in a digital world. Value is always created through the contribution of many different people. This is already emphasized in the SMAB CLIP, the Sport Value Framework, which you can also find on Professor Woratschek's YouTube channel. I already mentioned the example of FC St. Pauli, which I would like to come back to briefly, because it is a best practice example in terms of integrative branding that follows the logic of value co-creation. Figure 1 describes selected activities of integrative branding using FC St. Pauli as an example. The blue fields represent the first sub-process of integrative branding, namely building the brand identity. The green fields stand for the second sub-process, which is co-creating the brand meaning. Both processes are interrelated and take place simultaneously. How is a brand identity built? Basically, the brand owner develops a unique value system for which the sport brands should stand. St. Pauli stands for Hamburg's Kiez and a social and political responsibility for this district. The Kiez is the area around the Reeperbahn in the St. Pauli quarter. But the brand also stands for alternative social and political attitudes, for fighting spirit, for anti-discrimination, for equal treatment of all fans, for mutual tolerance and mutual respect in dealing with each other. At a first glance, the development of a distinctive brand identity by the brand owner still correlates with the traditional approach, which corresponds with the brand identity when perceived by the internal target group. Here St. Pauli's managers and employees. But FC St. Pauli involves many others to give the brand meaning in the second sub-process. Brand meaning stands for the social brand image and corresponds with the external target group such as sponsors, spectators, and citizens. Now the important thing in brand management is to respond to the diverging interests of these actors and to respect diverging interests to a certain extent. This also includes granting sponsors and fans, as well as other important actors such as politicians, the right to participate in shaping the brand meaning without jeopardizing central values of the brand identity. If other actors change the brand meaning in accordance with the brand owner, the brand identity is also adjusted. Both sub-processes are therefore interrelated. Managers of sport brands must therefore have extraordinary skills and competencies in integrative branding in order to manage communication with the various actors. The sport brand owner controls the communication with the different actors, like the spectators, fans, sponsors, the media representatives, politicians, the athletes, coaches, leagues, and many others. Managers of sport brands need to know how to balance diverging interests or how to let them coexist. Brand managers must not act like pontificators who know better than others how to create the brand identity. They must be willing to learn from others and know how to absorb ideas and communicate changing brand meanings. The secret recipe of branding and sport management is to follow the logic of value co-creation and to understand that values and value in sport are always created by many different actors and that divergent brand meanings must be taken up. These divergent brand meanings must be integrated into one's own brand identity in such a way that inspires all interested parties. The secret recipe of integrative branding is not simply the application of strictly prescribed rules, but integrates the fantasies of many cooks with heart and mind and conjures up a unique menu on the table that tastes good to everyone involved. Nowadays, successful sport managers know about the importance of value co-creation and act accordingly, and that's integrative. And by the way, this secret recipe was developed by Professor Dr. Tim Ströbel and Professor Dr. Herbert Woratschek from the University of Bayreuth, based on the ideas of Professor Roderick Brodie from the University of Auckland in New Zealand and his co-authors. All ingredients for this successful recipe are described in detail in their article, which you can find in the description of this video. Also check out our SMAB Clips playlist on Professor Woratschek's YouTube channel and have a look at the SMAB Relevant Management Insights on the website of SMAB Publishing, where you can also find a short version of the branding article. So feel free to follow Professor Woratschek. See you next time.